guys, it's Kelly. I'm back with another process video. This is my third layout that I am making or have made with my creative scrapbook kit. I have the main kit for September and it is full of Chamel's new collection, Go Now Go, which is perfect for your fall and your travel related photos. So I've seen on some of the message boards on Facebook about people saying that they wish that they could do some creative titles or shapes and things like that with their layouts, but they don't have a digital die cut machine. So I decided that I was going to just do this very simple method that I've used before, and I used it a ton before I had my silhouette. And I had purchased these letters from probably Michael's, I'm not sure, some craft store like that for a school project. And had usually the package comes with a bunch of letters left over, and I had enough to make my word, and I thought it would be perfect just to show you that you don't necessarily have to have an electronic die cut machine to do this. I have also taken it before and I have used just a font from my computer and printed it out on computer paper, cut it out of my computer paper, traced it onto the pattern paper that I wanted to have on my layout, and taken it from there. So there's a couple of different ways that you can get around having an electronic die cut machine and still have some fun title work and things like that. Now I could have also used a craft knife with this and traced it around exactly where I wanted it on the cardstock, and then backed my cardstock with the pattern papers. And I thought about that, but I decided that I just wanted it to be a little bit simpler because I wanted to show that you really can do something creative fairly easy. These letters will still be set aside for a school project, but I know that if I want them, I will pull them out again. I find that the basic fonts are much simpler to cut out. So if you're not a fan of fussy cutting, I really can't even say that this is fussy cutting because the lines are just so easy to follow. And I did trace the insides of the P's and the A, but I decided that I liked the pattern without being cut out. You most certainly can do it and cut it out with a craft knife, but I figured that because the fonts were so basic, it was so easy to read, I didn't need to worry about that. So at this point, I know that I want to stitch around my letters, but I'm not 100% sure which color I want to use. I was thinking about that red, and I was thinking about the navy. So while I get stuck, or while I'm thinking about things, I try to keep going with my page to see where it's going to go. And usually that helps me make my decision with whatever I'm a little stuck on or just haven't decided. So I am always a fan of having white behind my photos, whether it is already printed on my photos or just backing it with cardstock. And I decided that I definitely needed to do it with these photos just to help pop them off the page. I challenged myself to use more of craft cardstock with this kit. Number one, just because I had been using a lot of white and that is my favorite, but craft cardstock really went well with these colors between the thickers and just the fall colors, that I thought it would be a perfect chance to get out of my comfort zone and to push myself creatively. So right here I'm showing you that I did not have alphas that made a word that I wanted for my title. So I just took a W and turned it upside down and made it an M. And if you have craft foam thickers, it's so easy just to push the edges of the W together to make it look more like an M instead of an upside down W. And I just really liked the way that it ended up working. So here's where I'm trying to figure out which color I want to bring up top. And for a minute there, I thought about that paper that has all of the trees on it, but I'm going to flip it over and use the red plaid, and just really liked the way that that helped bring out more of the reds and brightened up the top of the page. I am not sure though how much of the red I want showing, and if I want the photos mounted on one big photo mat or if I want to individually mount the photos. So I decide that I'm going to go ahead and work on my stitching while I figure out what I want to do. Again, if I get stuck on something, I just try to keep going. So I'm not going to show you all of this, but I just take my little pokey tool, I make holes somewhat evenly around the letters, and here I'm just showing you that I've taken my navy thread, and I just used 3 strands of thread, and I love the way that it just really brought a lot of definition to those letters. So this is what I'm thinking. All right, I want to mount them individually so that I can have the photos overlapping on one another, and I just thought that that would bring a little bit of whimsy and a little fun to the layout, especially since, you know, one of the photos is of my kids making mussels. I have no idea why. It's just, you know, a fun little kid thing that they like to do when they were that age. So I am going to overlap the thickers on top of the main word, the apple, and I just like that because it helped to bring in the title, and it helps you to know that it's part of the title. And I am going to take that Hello Wood Veneer Heidi Swap piece and put it over top of the A, so it just says Hello Apple Time. You know, there's not a big story. These pictures are old. I don't remember any of the fine details of this day. And, you know, the only thing that I know is where it was, which I'm going to, you know, write at the bottom of the photos afterwards. And, you know, just some fun times with the kids being silly at the apple orchard. So one of the things that I found on the branding strip were those 3 little phrases that I'm playing with now. They say cheese, snapshot, and smile. Now those 3 and a couple of others were on one of the branding strips, so I just cut those out, and I love the little cluster that it makes on top, and it helps to bring balance, you know, for a visual triangle between that little cluster, the hello, and the chipboard flower. And it just goes to show that you don't necessarily have to use the same embellishment to have a visual triangle. So the final thing that I do is I pull out my Heidi Swap Color Shine in bronze, and I just cover up my photos and put a few sprinkles around the page, and that's it. So you're going to see me, I'm going to thumbs down in just a second. I got a big old splotch on that Hello Wood Veneer, but I just decided to not mess with it and go with it. So I do have some close-ups at the end. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and I have all the details for my Creative Scrapbook Kit Club in the details section below. So thanks so much. I will see you soon. Bye.